February 10th, 2022. Halfcast 236, episode 236. Let's go. Of course, I have a few things to share with you guys. An evening of reflection. Shall we? FedEx driver told to return to his route after being chased, shot at by men. Maybe this is part of the reason why the guy dumped a few hundred packages on the side of the road a few months ago. A black FedEx driver who was allegedly chased and shot at by two white men while making deliveries said he was told by supervisors to return to his same route after the incident. Lawyer Rodney Diggs said in a clip posted to Twitter, "If you want me to make my delivery, call Zeke and his cousin slash father up back there that's shooting at me and tell him I got their damn packages." In fact, what they wanted Mr. Gibson to do was complete his route after he just almost lost his life. You have bullet fragments in the truck and in the car, Diggs said. The incident comes amid national attention on attacks, both physical and verbal, against Black people. Carlos Moore, an attorney representing Gibson, told the Mississippi Free Press website that he wants the Justice Department to prosecute this as a hate crime. Every day you send me back here to these houses that have no lights and it looks like the hills have eyes, cabin fever. The dog has human teeth. Stop sending me back there. Diggs, who is with the firm Ivy McNeil, Wyatt Purcell, and Diggs, said that Gibson was suffering from stress after the encounter and compared it to the February 2020 pursuit and fatal shooting of 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery. You shouldn't require a young Black male who just experienced racism at its highest height in 2022 to continue to do work, Dick said. Fair enough. Gibson told the Mississippi Free Press that the incident occurred late last month when he was making deliveries in Brookhaven at around 7 p.m. on January 24th. They would probably call it sundown hours. He saw a white pickup truck driving toward him. In my mind, I'm thinking the driver is leaving to go to the store or something like that, but then they get extremely close to me and start blowing their horn. Gibson was quoted by the Mississippi Free Press. I proceed to leave the driveway. As I'm leaving the driveway, he starts driving in the grass, trying to cut me off. My instincts kick in. I swerve around him and I start hitting the gas, trying to get out of the neighborhood because I don't know what his intentions are. At this point, these widely used delivery companies like UPS and FedEx, they are too big to not have some type of system where they can note problem houses, problem customers, problem areas that might be potential dangers for their drivers. He said that he drove down past another two or three houses and saw another man standing in the middle of the street and pointing a gun at his windows. For all he know, it could be the whole block trying to cut him off. The man was signaling for him to stop, but Gibson swerved around him. Smart man. The man then allegedly started firing shots into his vehicle, Gibson told the Free Press. While trying to leave Brookhaven, Gibson said he noticed the white pickup truck following him. I just went as fast as I could. He chased me all the way to the interstate, he said. At one point during the pursuit, one of Gibson's FedEx managers called him and he told her what was happening. The manager told him to head back to the station as soon as he could, he told the Free Press. Gibson said that when the truck was no longer following him, he called another manager who said that they would file a police report the next morning. Why the next morning? Why not right now? But Gibson decided to call the authorities himself to report it. And the dispatch worker he spoke to told him that they had already received a call about a suspicious person at an address where he had been, the Free Press reported. Woman held hostage by naked intruder is rescued after failing to send daughter her daily Wordle score. The audacity Denise Holt was fast asleep in her Lincolnwood, Illinois home on Saturday night when she found herself in a nightmare that was all too real. As she later told police, a bleeding, naked man was standing by her bed holding a pair of scissors. He initially slid into her bed next to her, saying that he would not harm or molest her. Sounds like the original plot of the My Pillow commercials. According to Holt, the man then dragged her around the house, disconnecting the phones. He forced her to take a bath with him, although she was fully clothed in her nightgown. Then she alleges he barricaded her in an unheated bathroom in her basement. Without her medications, food, or any heat, things looked dire for Holt. I didn't think I was going to live, Holt told CBS 2 in Chicago. She spent the next 17 hours keeping herself active and warm, doing marching exercises and stretches in the dark bathroom. The will to not let this loser be the way that she goes out. Holt said she resolved to survive her ordeal. She told the Washington Post that she said to herself, I don't want to die like this exactly, and I don't want my kids to hear that their mother was murdered. There's no telling how long Holt might have remained captive if not for the concern of her daughter, who was 2,100 miles away in Seattle. Meredith Holt Caldwell noticed that her mother hadn't read her text the previous night, and even more concerning, hadn't sent her daily score from Wordle, the popular word game. This is the power of just checking on somebody every day just to make sure that they're okay. I didn't send my older daughter a Wordle in the morning, Holt tells Station, and that was disconcerting to her. Holt Caldwell called Lincolnwood police, who rushed to the scene to perform a wellness check that led to an hours long standoff with the man, who was later identified as 32-year-old James H. Davis III. Police told CBS News that they believe he suffers from mental issues. People confirms that Davis has been arrested and charged with home invasion with a dangerous weapon, aggravated kidnapping while armed with a dangerous weapon, and aggravated assault against a police officer. He has not yet entered a plea, and court records do not reflect an attorney authorized to speak on his behalf. Check on a friend, check on a relative, even if it's just 1 or 2 minutes a day. It might save their life. Illinois dentist accused of diverting fentanyl from patient vials for personal use. That man is a hero. He was watering down the fentanyl so you won't get addicted. An Illinois dentist has been arrested accused of removing portions of fentanyl from his patient's anesthesia and hoarding it for personal use, prosecutors say. Philip Jensen, 61, of Rochester, Illinois, was taken into custody Monday on a slew of charges, including acquiring a controlled substance by fraud, according to court records and a Monday news release by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Central District of Illinois. Jensen, who served the Springfield area and was authorized by the Drug Enforcement Administration to dispense controlled substances, allegedly adulterated the fentanyl he was supposed to use as anesthesia for his patients during surgeries starting as early as December 2019 into at least August 2020. Watering down your fentanyl so it wears off right when you're in the middle of a root canal. Before surgeries, Jensen allegedly pierced the fentanyl vials, removed half the fentanyl, then refilled the vials with another solution, prosecutors said. He administered the adulterated fentanyl, which was now at half its labeled strength, to his patients, the release stated. The portion he removed, he set it aside for his personal use, a head stash. A little bit in a baggie, a little bit in a purse. Prosecutors said on one occasion, when Jensen administered the tampered fentanyl to a patient, it resulted in seriously bodily injury to that patient, according to the indictment. The indictment alleges Jensen committed drug diversion on at least 8 different occasions in which he knowingly distributed a mixture and substance containing a detectable amount of fentanyl outside the scope of professional practice and not for a legitimate medical purpose. So if you steal a little, sell a little, use a little, what the hell are the patients gonna have? It's not clear who he distributed the synthetic opioid to. The indictment also accuses Jensen of acquiring fentanyl by fraud for obtaining the drug from the vials and concealing the removal by refilling it with another substance and replacing it by safety caps. Somebody could have a horrible allergic reaction you don't know. Overall, Jensen was charged with 8 counts of drug diversion, 8 counts of acquiring a controlled substance by fraud, 1 count of tampering with consumer products, and 3 counts of false statements related to healthcare matters, prosecutors said. Jensen made his initial court appearance before Magistrate Judge Tom Shancel Haskins at the federal courthouse in Springfield on Monday. Jensen's attorney Daniel L. Fultz declined to comment on the charges and said his client is entering a plea of not guilty. Hope you can pay your bunkies and dental work, buddy, because you're going to jail. Michigan man tries to pay taxes with three $1 million checks. They bounce. Don't you just hate it when that happens? That's why I just send them gold bars and they just chip off what they need and send the rest back. Damon Montgomery, 54, sent 3 checks to the state treasury in January of 2021 to pay his taxes, but all three bounced because they a hat trick because they contain routing numbers for TCF Bank at which he did not have an account, according to a news release from the Michigan Attorney General's office. The checks were made out to the state of Michigan for $1 million each. Montgomery is facing 3 counts of a no account check, the news release said. He can face up to 2 years in prison or a $500 fine for each count. As residents of Michigan, we share the legal obligation to pay income tax, Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel said in the release. These taxes pay for our schools, our roads, our hookers, our government services. Cheating on your wife hurts everyone. No, cheating on taxes hurts everyone and is fundamentally unfair to everyone else who abides by the law. We will continue to work with our partners at Treasury to ensure fairness. Montgomery's arraignment is set for February 22nd at 9:30 a.m., the release said. His case has been assigned to Ingham County Judge Louise Alderson. Montgomery insists that he is a sovereign citizen. Oh, there he is. There it is. Thus exempt from certain Michigan laws, according to the release. That includes paying taxes. I had a story about a guy who was a sovereign citizen sometime last year. And basically, what he did was waited for a lady to basically work herself from homelessness into buying her own home. And when she closed on the house, he swooped in and said the property belonged to his ancestors and said the house was his. These are the type of people we dealing with. A sovereign citizen believes they, not judges, juries, law enforcement, or elected officials, should determine which laws to follow, according to the Southern Poverty Law Center. Other sovereign citizens have tried to use their ideology to bypass laws and failed. In 2020, Michael Levent William of Savannah, Georgia, was sentenced to 110 months in prison for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, said Bobby L. Christine, U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Georgia, in a release from the Department of Justice. William claimed that being a sovereign citizen exempted him from the law that made it illegal for someone like him convicted of a felony to carry a gun, which is all well and good that you feel like that, but you're in Rome, buddy. And when in Rome, another man, Ronald Allen Wright of Columbia, South Carolina, was sentenced in 2019 to 10 years in prison after a jury found him guilty of tax fraud and conspiracy to commit wire fraud, another release from the DOJ said. Convictions stem from the sovereign citizen ideology, where they also argue that debts can be dismissed by accessing secret government bank accounts, which sounds highly illegal. Wright tried to discharge almost $15 million of consumer debt, evidence presented at the trial showed. Show, fun show, fun show. That being said, I'm going to wrap this one up, but I'll be sure to talk to you guys very, very soon. Adios.